I'm up front. I hear them two talking at cash wrap. I hear ding. And then I hear Lillian say, yo, did Enrica go in the back? And then Jazzy said, no, she's up front. So I peer out so they can see me at the main cash wrap, and we all give each other that, oh, look. Because allegedly, there's only 3 of us in the store. Hello, everybody. I'm Shanae. Welcome to Shanae's Law. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we're going to talk about, we'll do a story time. Let's do something fun. Let's do a story time. I know not too long ago, I dropped a video about how to conquer a job interview. And I know in there, I mentioned some ways on, how to get there on time, how to be prepared, things of that sort. But I did make a lot of emphasis on making sure that you're looking out for yourself and taking care of you, because, at the end of the day, you really only have you no matter who you work for. On some scale, they feel like most people are dispensable. So it had me thinking. So I thought it'd be a good idea to share one of my job experiences with you all. We're going to talk about the time the intruder stayed after the store closing. So let's set up the background for you. When I was an undergrad, from like a little freshman on up, for 3 years I worked there, and I was a bra specialist for 2.5 years. This was one of the biggest lingerie retailer in the world. Now we got Savage Fancy, but we didn't have no Savage Fancy back then. Savage X Fancy or whoever. We didn't have that back then. So now as a bra specialist, I had a lot of responsibilities. It was my job to basically lead bra sales, which of course I did. I killed it. I hustled them $50 bras like no other. Like I was a beast, okay? Anywho, I had to train girls. I had to make sure that everybody was doing their monthly activities before the team meetings, and measuring people on the floor, measuring people in the fitting room, and anything about bras, it was me. I had to basically manage the bra sales. And I was leading orientations. Management even had me doing background check. They had me doing some HR stuff. I don't think I was supposed to be doing all of that. They was taking advantage of my little young ass. Anywho, I had a lot of responsibilities as a bra specialist. And most importantly, during holidays and seasonal peaks, I was supposed to be a key holder or, a team lead, a sales lead. But that never happened for me. I do believe because I was, young, black, and ambitious, people were intimidated. Mind you, all the management was middle-aged Caucasian women. And I know they were intimidated. They didn't want me to excel. So they kept me at a glass ceiling. So I never got to do the team lead. I never got to be a key holder. And those are the people, they open, they close, they do the bank runs, things of that sort. So they're not necessarily a manager, but they are like acting managers. And they got taken advantage of too. Because I noticed the more they got those girls coming in and doing that role, none of them hoes stayed out to 6 o'clock anymore. None of them closed. It would always be us and the other little young girl sales lead or whoever they had in position. They didn't close no more. They came late. They left early. It got real bad after a while. We had some of the worst management. In hindsight, now that I'm grown, now that I'm out of college, now that I've gotten, I've got 3 degrees by now. But they were some horrible, horrible, horrible role models and horrible management. If people only really knew what happened, what really went down at 212. Anyway, with all that being said, now that you had a background, we can get further into the story. And I know my friend Jazzy, she watches this channel. So Jazzy, if I forget out anything, please comment below everything you remember from that night. I'm going to pin it in the comments because you were there. This is our story and people need to know. So mind you, a lot of us, we were overworked, mistreated, underpaid, disrespected, and I was always overlooked for opportunities. Even though I ended up graduating with my dual degree in entrepreneurship and marketing, they didn't care. They didn't care that I was a good fit for any management opportunities. They didn't care. They didn't want me to be. They didn't want me to be successful. So I got overlooked. And the funny thing is, they gave this one girl, she was she was white privilege at its finest, okay? She was, listen. This girl barely was a good employee. Let's start there. She was barely a good employee. She was not always showing up for her shifts. Her little boyfriend worked down the hall at like a sneaker store. He was always coming in, eating food. She's always taking these long conversations with him in the middle of the store, in the side of the store. Like, she would have company coming in the store. I'm just saying, come on, y'all. Is that somebody you really want running your store? She has so many damn flaws, but they gave her the keys. They gave her the keys. Can you believe? Basically, she was incompetent. She wasn't ready. She was too immature, and she didn't know how to hold responsibility. But I guess it don't matter in this day and age, right? So they put her in this role, right? And over time, I could see that she became very overwhelmed. She became overwhelmed. She really couldn't handle it. Sometimes she had like little panic attacks, little freak out moments. I think they didn't really train her well either. I gotta say that. Yes, she was a horrible employee, but her training, come on now, if y'all gonna give her the keys, sometimes people shape up. You know, sometimes people step up to the occasion when you give them keys, but no, not her. And she was ill prepared. I don't feel like they really took time out with her to let her know how important her role was. So in essence, she was very undertrained. We're gonna call her Lillian. Let's call her Lillian. So, you know, you gotta change the names to protect the guilty. And, you know, Lillian, I didn't really F with Lillian. Lillian was one of them girls that thought because she was smashing a black boy that she was down. I didn't like that. I don't get down with that Rachel Dolezal fat. I don't do that. So it was just like, whatever, Lillian, do you want? So one particular night, I noticed that they were always cutting corners at this store. They were always cutting hours, cutting corners, and that's a problem. Now, you may feel it's still summertime, mind you, so I don't know why people feel like you don't need more than a few people to close. Our store was not small. Granted, they've had a big makeover since then, but it's not small. There's like 3 main sections, and then we had a beauty room, so there's 4 big rooms into one. Now, for whatever reasons, they decided that this one particular night we were going to have just the key holder and 2 employees, which was me and Jazzy, and Lillian. So, you know how it is. 9 o'clock hits, because, you know, we at the mall. 9 o'clock hits, we shut down gates. At 8:55, we turning off the music. Me being bride specialist, the fitting room was my domain. I'm already wiping down mirrors and all of that at 8:30. I'm about to vacuum. You see the vacuum customer, hey, hurry up and buy. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, now, this particular night, everything seemed fine because I had originally been over in the broad room, I think. And by, you know, we shut off the music. I've already vacuumed them fitting rooms. I started that early. Look, if it's slow, look, we ain't finna be here all night. She gonna count down these drawers and we finna roll out. Music's off, gates are closed. I can hear Lillian at the front main cash wrap, opening drawers, about to do the countdown. And, you know, I'm up front. And I'm straightening up because I think one of the biggest priorities for them when we closed was to make sure that that front room was as perfect as possible because it was always the messiest. So I was like, let me just go up here because the middle room looks good. I've already done a fitting room. We've walked through the back. All the gates on the, you know, all the gates is closed and locked down. You know, I was just really ready to go. And I hear Lillian and Jazzy, I kind of hear them talking. And then we had this door. The door was in the middle of the store. It was like an employees only door. It should have had a sign. It didn't have a sign, but that's what it was. And it was one of those doors when you open or close it, it would go ding. So, mind you, it's me, Lillian, Jazzy. Me, Lillian, Jazzy. I'm up front. I hear them 2 talking at cash wrap. I hear ding. And then I hear Lillian say, yo, did Enrica go in the back? And then Jazzy said, no, she's up front. So I peer out so they can see me at the main cash wrap, and we all give each other that, oh, look. Because allegedly, there's only 3 of us in the store. But we heard this ding. We know what that damn ding, we know what that means. Somebody opened that door. So at this point, you know, we start to panic. I walk up to the cash wrap and I'm like, yo, we need a plan. We need a plan. Because my mind is, you know, I'm from the projects. I'm about survival. I'm like, look, it's 3 of us. I got this measuring tape. We got a box cutter. We got ink pens. look, we got to do something because this person has already announced themselves. They've opened that door at this point. Not only that, they're back there with the lockers. Behind that door is where the lockers are, where our car keys are, where our purses are. How are we going to get home? So we're trying to devise a plan. We start arming ourselves because we know somebody's in here. It ain't no damn poltergeist. That wasn't no poltergeist. That was a person. Okay, some fool felt the need to stay after we closed, probably back there stealing. That's what they had to be doing. They probably snuck through the beauty room to the other back room. I guess, I don't know what they was doing, but they were there. And they had no business in that back room. Mind you, when we shut everything down, we turn the music off in the back. However, there's a lot of rafters where the overstock goes. There was a lot of nooks and crannies this person could have hid and we just didn't see. So I don't know how long they had been back there. I don't know how many was back there. I know somebody was back there. And I just remember us panicking and I'm like, you know what? Me and Jazzy, we like, look, she from Memphis. So, she was ready. I'm like, you know what? And they had these umbrellas. We had a promotion going on. So it was $60 purchase, gets you a free umbrella. We had like bins of them around the cash route. Hold on. It was this umbrella right here, okay? They were just like this. $60 purchase. Oh, goodness. $60 purchase gets you one of these, okay? So I see it. I grab it, and I'm over here like, batter up. I'm the first to swing. Swing, batter, swing, batter, swing, batter up. So I have this. Jazzy grabs one. I'm like, look, we're going to go back here, right? You know what I'm saying? We're going to whack them. We're going to take this measuring tape. We're going to choke them. We're going to tie them up. We're going to do what we got to do. We over here coming up with plans. We're coming up with real plans right now. So Lily and her dingy ass up here at the cash row. Oh my God, I can't leave the money. You can't leave the money. Girl, if you don't shut that damn drawer up, lock the drawer. So you're going to die over somebody else's money? Because mind you, at this point, we have called management. We called all 4 of them heifers. These grown women who have her clearly ill-prepared. We've called them. We've texted them. We at this cash route probably 25 minutes trying to figure out what we're going to do. We're scared. Ain't nobody over 20 years old. We young. We scared. We're in a big store. The mall's closed. Of course, there's other people there in another store. It's just us 3. And we don't know what this person got. Now, people scared. It's fight or flight. So we don't know what this person's capable of. We don't know if they about to try to mace us, shoot us, kill us. We don't know. Management has not called back. I look at her and I say, girl, you better shut that damn drawer. Lock the drawer. As long as you got the key on your person, you're good. They can't get the money. What are you talking about? We done grab these daggone umbrellas. We ready to go. So I'm like, you know what? They didn't tell you what to do in a crisis. Or, from an intruder. I mean, is there something we can implement that they ever tell you about if a terrorist or a mass shooting occurs? And she's like, no. So now I'm getting really concerned. Like, damn, we've been working for these people this long and we ain't got nothing in place for this or something similar, to kind of, alter nothing. So I'm like, you know what? We need to do something. We need to call more security at least. Since we ain't got no measures in place, let's call more security. Somebody to come back here. We need some type of protection. It take them 15 minutes? It took them a while. And then when they did come, listen, if you're going to be security, make sure that you are physically fit and that you are age appropriate. Now, unless you're Denzel Washington or Liam Neeson or somebody, and you can take, what? If you can't take people down at 60 up, if that's not in you, if you've had issues, if you got health reasons, if your arthritis is acting up, don't be no security guard no more. People take that too lightly because when things go wrong for real, we don't need no overage, overweight person being security. This was a serious matter. They finally come, right? It was an old, overweight man and some out of shape old woman. And I'm thinking, well, if they at least got a gun, or some type of weaponry, we still might be all right. They came in, we told them what was going on. They kind of just looked at us, and that pissed me off because, first of all, I know me and Jazzy have been here like 2 years at this point. We ain't got a reason why. We know our store. We know our store. We know how raggedy stuff is in there. We know what's new. We know what creaks, and we know what don't creak. And that door in the middle does not creak, but it dings when you open it and close it. And we're just telling them, and they're kind of like, I'm like, this is up. This is up. And I'm like, well, y'all need to go in the back, at least do a clean sweep. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what cops do. They come check it out. So they finally come. What I didn't realize until the very end was these MFers left the gate up, the main gate. They left the gate up. Who does that? Who does that? Somebody could have damn stole. A passerby, a janitor, anybody. They left the damn gate halfway up. Didn't notice. This is important. Keep this in mind. So we're in the back room. Now, of course, they wasn't taking us seriously. They didn't care. They decided to do a half-ass security check. Now, I thought one was split up here, one was split up here, meet in the middle. No. They decided to both go from left to right. Now, mind you, if we starting over here, this person's probably already over here because they heard the door ding, and they don't want to be near that door in case we come back. So instead of them splitting up, taking one side and meeting in the middle, no, they start both here. So we're following them and know, hey, we got rafters. Aren't y'all gonna get somebody to shine a light? Aren't you gonna go up there? We got a whole, this is a lot of material, a lot of merchandise, a lot of boxes. So they just walk. Nobody really looked at nothing. Nobody moved nothing around. They just walked from here to here. We did hear a noise. Now, Jazzy, correct me if I'm wrong. Did the sensor up front go off? I'm pretty sure we heard I'm pretty sure the sensor went off. Correct me if I'm wrong. We heard a noise. We left out the beauty area. That gate was up. So you don't mean to tell me that God, the devil, so whoever that person worship, you don't mean to tell me that they instinct went out the beauty, went out the front, and right out that open gate? And so when I realized that, I asked them, why did you leave that gate open? Why would you leave that gate open? And that's how that person got out. But they blew it off. Nobody has a reason to lie. Nobody has a reason to lie. And so when they did leave, mind you, management ain't called back. So we just pretty much pissed and we scared, but we was like, let's just go. So we did like a very rapid closing. We pretty much just stayed near Lillian at each cash rep while she counted everything down, straightened up what we could. And, you know, we had to open, so I really wasn't even worried about straightening up no more. I was like, that we'll come in here. If anybody else is left in here, they're going to just be in here all night or whatever. And we'll let management deal with it when they come in. So we just stayed close together for the rest of the night. You know, we left in unison. We made sure each other got to that car in the parking lot. Okay. And we pulled off simultaneously. Like nobody left without making sure that everybody was okay. Nobody was in the back seat. Because mind you, this person could have been lurking in the parking lot. I know they heard my voice because I was the main one out here talking about, I'm going to F that little cripple up. I'm like the main one. Like, oh, hell no, I'm not dying in no store. I'm not finna die up in here like, oh yeah, this is umbrella, y'all. They was just like this. Just like this. Still in the plastic. Vintage. It's like the same umbrella I picked up, but it looks just like that. So, yeah, it was a bad night. I couldn't sleep. It was sleepless, you know, and that can cause you PTSD right there. Like, it was bad. So we came in the morning, straightened up. Everybody's nervous. You know, everybody's just on the edge. Like, we don't know what's going to happen, what's going on. And then management, one of them came in and we told her what happened. She's like, yeah, I know. And then she basically, this trash manager just tried to blame us for what happened. And I'm just looking at her like, girl, you the one that got no measures in place. Does the parent company know? Again, because, you know, they got a parent company. You a brand, but you have a parent company. Like, you don't want to have no measures in place. You didn't pick up. You and the other three whores did not pick up. You left us to fend for ourselves. You know, but like, again, we're very young. We're all like 19 and 20. Nobody's like grown at this point. This is like our first or second job. We don't know. We ain't never had no MFers try to spend a night in a store. And she was like, y'all were supposed to call this number instead of mall security. You don't call them. I'm like, well, how are we supposed to know that? You don't tell us this. We've never had a team meeting. We've never discussed this. How are we supposed to know that? So I was like, definitely letting her know, like, look, I've been here 2 years. You ain't never told us what to do, how to do it. We never had no terrorist attack, no intruder alert, no high robbery. We've never done a drill. We didn't expect this to happen. How can you put this on us? This wasn't our fault. Mind you, this whole time, no manager called, text, or alerted us. Nobody hit us up on Facebook. Nobody asked if we were okay. But I bet you if we had went on Instagram Live or Facebook Live or something, they would have tried to fire us. But we were afraid. We should have done that. We should have done that. And even after that, mind you, even after this, they didn't change up security. There were no safety measures put in place. There were no extra security alarms or extra cameras, no drills. They did nothing. Nothing changed after that night. And mind you, anything could have happened to us. We don't know who this person was. Were they alone? Were they armed? Were they unarmed? And again, they gave themselves away when they opened that door and it made that little dinghy noise. So people who afraid, ain't no telling what that person was capable of. We don't know if they was in the right mindset or not. We could have died that night. What was this company? Even that parent company, were you going to pay for our funerals? Any medical bills that occurred? Because we were part-time. We didn't have benefits. We were all college kids. So I'm just saying, life lesson. You work for yourself and you are contracting your skills to these companies and your work ethic. You're renting out your work ethic. A lot of companies do not care about their employees at the end of the day. A lot of them don't. I know some of them do, but a lot of them don't. You are simply a body with a badge and a login ID. So you need to make sure, especially if you're young and you're in a mall and all that, if you're working out in a mall, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Make safety your priority at a job. Make safety a priority. Know where all the exit signs are. Get you a map of that store. Know that store in and out. Don't just be a victim. Which is why even it was always something, because they had bars open up in the mall and around the mall. All of us already had mace. We had to get mace. I had a pocket knife, because when you're going out to your car, it's always some drunk fool. Hey, baby, you want me to walk you to your car? It's always some drunk fool, you know, and you got to be sitting already as it is. And then to know in your own store that you could have gotten killed. We don't know what this person was doing. I had never in a million years thought about somebody staying after closing until that night. Now I'm ready for anything. But nothing changed. They did not put any safety measures in place. They didn't even talk about it at the team meeting. No one cared. So in essence, no improvements were made. And they really brushed off that story like it wasn't no big deal. They brushed it off like we were just dumb little kids. But in actuality, we could have died. We could have been hurt. And then it would have been a big ass lawsuit. And then they would have cared. Or assaulted or whatever, murdered, all at a store. A store where we did the right thing. We called management. We called mall security. They said, don't call the cops. We should have probably called the cops though, but take care of yourselves, y'all. These jobs, it's something else working for these jobs. When you work for other people, these big corporations like that, they don't always care. So keep that in mind. I thought this would be a good story for y'all because, you know, when y'all out here trying to get a coin, but unfortunately, when you work for other people, things can go wrong. But you know me. I'm out that little cripple up. Anyway, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. I'm going to do some more like this, but I just thought that was pretty interesting because I've never heard anybody, not on YouTube or real life, talk about things that can go wrong at the job. So watch out for yourself, especially you girls who work at those plazas and them little outlets, because you know y'all got nooks and crannies and dumpsters and trash cans out. Somebody might be, you know what I'm saying? Somebody might be lurking. But you know, it taught me a lot though. I'm very prepared for anything that happens these days. I have mace, I have a stunt gun. I also have, you know, an extended clip. I have things in place right now to make sure that I'm okay. But all right, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this story. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and check out a few of my other videos while you're in the process. And I'm going to see you guys later in my next video. Take care.